I know it's been a while since I posted anything here. Mainly, I felt that the algorithm. I don't know if there's something that I probably did in the past in the channel, because I used to do a lot of Pro 2A stuff and maybe that content at that time, but whatever. It doesn't matter. So the reason I'm coming back, at least making some videos, is this guy from New York got my attention. As a person who escaped socialism, I'm like, what in the fuck is New York doing? Really? A socialist? Because when you ask the guy say, "Oh yeah, are you against capitalism?" "Oh yeah, I have many criticism against capitalism." How about socialism, boy? How about socialism? How many people has it killed? How many people have gotten on a raft from Cuba, not knowing if they're going to make it? How many people have been stranded and have gotten into trouble with cartels, with criminal organizations, while trying to escape Venezuela and many other countries? I mean, as far as I can tell, people still want to leave China and come to the U.S. There is a reason, and it seems like this guy did not get the memo. And is either did he probably got the memo, and he's just an envious piece of shit. Maybe he just is so envious of people that are successful that he wants to tax them to death. And the question that I sometimes wonder: do what is the thing that government does so well that you're like, I think the government should take over? People are not realizing that you have better products because there's competition, because there's incentive to give you a better product. There is a reason. There is a reason people prefer going sometimes to private industries than working with government institutions, because government institutions, they don't have the incentives, because they're not competing with anyone. That's why the DMV, they treat you like a piece of shit, because that's the only option. That's why when I went to do my concealed carry license, they made a mistake on my application for a year. I called 6 times to 7 times. They never told me my application was wrong. No. They told me everything was fine, even though I was calling saying that I was checking on the service. Until somebody that I was actually doing their job decided to do something about it. And I'm like, do we want more of that? What? And I understand. At the same time, I was like, man, it's also easy to sell to poor people that you're gonna give them extra money, because that's always the business. I'm gonna take money from the rich and I'm gonna give it to the poor. But who's your employer? Who pays your salary? I think people don't think that. Who pays your salary? You're putting them in a situation that they're going to live. And New York has already been bleeding people that are successful. I personally know someone who sold a big business in New York, one of the biggest in their industry, because regulations, all the craziness that happened after COVID. And now the way we solve the problem is socialism. For example, New York has a housing problem because many people still want to live in New York. Yes. What people also not realizing, yes, our government is definitely destroying our buying power by printing more money. But we keep electing people that are going to print more money. That is a problem that is, I know people want to blame politicians, but people keep electing those people. Whenever you have somebody that's really hard against more money printing, even on the Republican side, all they get is pushback. And they elect people that are willing to play ball. And then they complain when everything gets more expensive. Because at the end, all is happening is the value of what you can buy is going low. It's not that the camera becomes more expensive. It's not that your groceries become more expensive. It's that the dollar that you have keeps losing more buying power. That is exactly the problem. And I'm going to show you here some clips here where this guy admits that he doesn't like socialism. Capitalism, and that he's for ceasing the means of production, which is insane. I'll go here with the clip.
So when people say democratic socialist, right? And I'm curious what you think this means. I mean, do you like capitalism?
No, I have many critiques of capitalism. And I think ultimately the definition for me of why I call myself a democratic socialist is the words of Dr. King decades ago. He said, call it democracy or call it democratic socialism. There must be a better distribution of wealth for all of God's children in this country.
You are a self-described democratic socialist. Do you think that billionaires have a right to exist?
I don't think that we should have billionaires because, frankly, it is so much money in a moment of such inequality.
And we have to ensure that we are unapologetic about our socialism. There are also other issues that we firmly believe in, whether it's BDS, right, or whether it's the end goal of ceasing the means of production.
So, as you can see, this guy definitely hates capitalism. And I understand capitalism is not a perfect system. It's a system that is created by humans who are not perfect beings. There's going to be flaws in between the desire different people have, the greed different people have. But the problem is, under capitalism, they have to at least provide you a product. As much money as Jeff Bezos has, how many people use Amazon on a daily basis? How many people rely their businesses to with Amazon or eBay or other organizations that you leverage those tools? The same as the computer that you're using, either Mac OS or Windows. Yes, those people are billionaires, but there's multiple people that are using it to generate wealth on different aspects. Yes, not everybody is a billionaire, and there's issues with inequality and some issues about the rules change. But how can you have those criticism? And this is the trick that politicians do, especially socialists. When they ask him if he hates capitalism, he tries to address it and to like lower your guard when he talks about MLK. Why? Because you have a good image about MLK. So it's an illusion. It's trying to deceive you like a snake. And I'm like, dude, how many more people need to die? Like around 45 to 50 million people died on their mouths. Why did people die on their mouth? Because planned decision. They want to make everybody equal. How about Cuba? How about Venezuela? Where 98% are living under extreme poverty with under $20 to $30 a month. $30 a month. One of the richest countries in South America. Before the Castros came into power in Cuba, Cuba had the GDP per capita of countries like France, Italy. And right now it's competing with Haiti to being one of the poorest countries in the world. Where in Cuba, people remain because it's a freaking island. If not, the freaking country will be empty. Think about it. It is a country that has been losing population because everybody's leaving. Whatever. I got friends that are living in Finland. I got people that are living in Mexico, Chile, anywhere they can get the opportunity, even Russia. Anywhere they can get the opportunity. And I'm like, guys, more people died under socialism ideas and this whole let's make everybody equal and this equality bullshit than in all the wars in the last 100 years. You can put all the wars together. World War II, World War I, any conflicts that have been around the world, still more people died under socialism. But I guess the hate that some people have for the successful is powerful enough to get a piece of shit like this guy elected. And I'll leave it as that.